Hi everyone, welcome back to Hope and Coffee. This episode is going to be a little bit more about Huntsville and Alabama. And the reason I wanted to do this episode is because I was on Google the other day, if not this morning. I don't know. I get so lost with my time sometimes. And I happened to run across an article about Alabama's purple paint law. I didn't know what that meant. I thought maybe Alabama had banned purple paint for some weird reason. Hey, you know what? There are random laws about random things all over the place. However, but so the general gist of the purple paint law was that people are able to use purple paint to mark their property instead of putting up a no trespassing sign. So as long as it is like 3 feet up and it's like a vertical line and it's got to be more than 8 inches and it's done in purple paint and like there's like you can Google it, Alabama purple paint law. But I just thought that was super interesting. It's quirky. It's kind of one of those things. And apparently, when I was reading the article, there are other states that have different versions of that same law with different colored paints. So just something kind of quirky. So what it kind of got me thinking about was what are some other quirky things or interesting things about not only, I guess, Huntsville, but well, one, I wanted to look at Huntsville, and I was able to find on the Atlas Obscura Guide to Huntsville 6 cool, hidden, and unusual things in Huntsville, Alabama, which was updated June 29th. Cool, so not too long ago, of 2023. So this was pretty recent, and I thought it would be fun to share. So the first one is the Huntsville, Alabama Dead Children's Playground. What else would you call a playground hidden in Alabama's oldest and largest cemetery? So there's even a picture that apparently in one of our cemeteries here, there is a playground. I don't know if it's haunted, but if it's in the middle of a cemetery and you are a ghost hunter, maybe you can go out there and maybe some swings will swing when there is no wind. Who knows? The next thing on the list is the grave of Miss Baker. And apparently, Miss Baker, it says, bananas are often left for the first monkey America ever recovered alive after being launched into space. So Miss Baker is apparently America's first monkey who was ever recovered alive, which is, I guess, really good. Good job, Miss Baker. Also, kind of leading into that, we have a bar here, a little rooftop area, and it's called the Baker and Abel, which I guess would be it's a kind of a cool thing, but it's got a really nice view, not only of the downtown area, but of the hills and the mountains, kind of a little past the downtown area. So it's really nice. It kind of looks back east and really nice view. So if you're ever in the downtown area, Google it, find it. Very nice atmosphere, but hey, something to go look for as well. The next thing on the list is Pathfinder and the MPA-ET. And it may look like no more than a full-scale model, but every part of this full space shuttle stack has a working role in aviation history. So it is apparently a full-scale model. But also each part has been used in aviation history in some way. So they've actually, I guess, configured it from pieces that have actually been used. So that's kind of neat. I mean, I guess we do have a very large portion of NASA here, so that makes sense. Next on the list, I think this brings us up to number 4. We have the MPTA-098. I do not know what these numbers mean, so please, I'm not any sort of aerospace person. It is a propulsion engine test bed that paved the way for the space shuttle launch, and it sits without recognition at this launch center. So I guess you can go look at this propulsion test bed. I will tell you, very frequently while I'm at work, I hear very loud rumbling, and it is NASA testing propulsion on on their engines. So it can be a very clear, sunny blue day, and it sounds like thunder, but it is very loud and consistent. And I know it's NASA testing engines. So that happens. Not, I mean, it's not super close to work, but that's just how loud they really are. There is next on the list the Low Mill Arts and Entertainment, which was once a bustling cotton factory. And this early 20th century building is now home to a thriving art space. And I may have mentioned the Low Mill Art Studio Art Collective in the past. It is one of my favorite places to bring anybody who comes to visit, but it's just so cool. It's got such a great atmosphere, and the artists inside have such an eclectic and diverse amount of, I don't know, talent. They're just phenomenal. So absolutely a place to go visit and see. Next on the list is the Hotel Montesano. It's a 19th century hotel and spa. Famous guests like the Vanderbilt family, William Waldorf Astor, Helen Keller, and Jay Gould all visited there. So kind of cool. I have not been there yet, but if it's a place that I can still visit, I just might try. I don't know, even if it's just a walk around. I don't know if it's even still standing, but perhaps. And then finally on this, it says permanently closed, so never mind, I guess he might be gone. I just see the little note on the top of this picture. It looks cool though. It's called K-Rex, a little K and then Rex. It's 12-foot T-Rex. It's the largest skeleton sculpture in the world. And let me just see if I can show you a picture, or if it's going to allow me to share this picture. But it does say he's permanently closed. Sadly, he looked kind of cool. And he was at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, but it looks like he might be gone now. But he was, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, the biggest. And so those are just a few of the really cool things that are here in Huntsville. I know I also saw on AL.com there were a whole bunch of things to also do there were I think I typed in quirky things about Alabama, and it actually said that Alabama has its own Stonehenge. So that is one of the things that will probably come up in a next episode. But I like to keep these to be about 9 to 10 minutes long, so I don't like to run over too much because y'all get bored, and then I gotta edit it, and none of us have time for that. So if y'all want to know more about Huntsville or Alabama, I'm just learning that this place actually has some decent stuff. It's not as, I hate to say it. It's not as backwoods as I really thought it was going to be. However, the list about Alabama has some fairly redneck country. It has some Alabama things on that list, so we will get to that one another time. And I will see you all on the next page. Have a great one.